Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today we are going over a traditional video on this channel dating way back to the launch of my channel, how to get these campaign characters to 4 stars for free. In case you're new here, any longtime follower will tell you this is probably some of the best advice you can get in the game. So if you're ready for it, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Before we begin, I do want to say this advice works best for new and mid-game players. Late game players, this advice does not work out that well because of things I'm going to get into later, that the rewards tend to be not as valuable that they are to newer and mid-game players. With that said, let's jump into it. Shatterstar is on his way here. By the time you guys have seen this video, a little over 5 days to go, so you need to start planning out your teams and what you're going to use. But before we do that, let's look at the requirements. In case you're a newer player and you haven't had any advice when it comes to event campaign characters, it breaks down like this. There's an easy, a medium, and hard campaign nodes for you to go through. If you are level 60, my first advice is go to the hard campaign, do the very first node. You traditionally do not need to use your own tunes for that node. They give you the tunes to use. If you do that, it's one of the nodes that give you the most shards fragments towards the Shatterstar orb. Now with that said, my advice for this video does work best if you're able to clear the hard node. If you can't clear the hard node, just take what I'm saying and clear off the hardest nodes that you can clear and work your way backwards. Now this campaign has gotten much easier over the years, mainly because it's not as hard to get the gear to get your characters to level 60 and all the requirements that you need. The biggest obstacle you have these days is getting to level 60. But anyways, so the recommendations: squad level 60 plus. So I usually recommend the more over 60 the better, but you don't have to spend the whole way up to 70. Gear tier 9, I recommend gear tier 10, and ability level 5, this is basically ability level 6664. If you do all that plus some other advice that I have in this video, you should be fine to be able to clear off the hard campaign, assuming that they didn't do something to make this super hard. It's been a while since they did something like that, but yeah, can't put anything past them. Now to be able to go through the hard campaign, you need 5 characters with the showstopper character trait. So if you need to know who you can use, go to your roster screen, click the little filter button, scroll down until you find the showstopper tag, which is right there. And then you get all the characters you can use in this game. I'm not going to review them here, I'm going to review them elsewhere, but there are a lot of great characters you can use here. So first things first, day 1, you want to be able to go into this campaign and clear the entire hardest node the whole way to the end. If you're able to. Let me say with that, if you're able to, but this advice works if you're able to. Now another tip or trick that I have for you guys, given by a viewer of me a couple of these shows ago, I don't know what you want to call them, is that your energy refresh may come in within an hour or 2 of this event going live. If that is so for you, you want to wait until this event launches live before you collect your energy. That way you get free energy right off the bat for this campaign. Now day 1, you want to go clear it all off. And then once you're done, you want to start working your way backwards, clearing all 10 farms on the very last node, and then we're going to go backwards and clear them off. You want to use the 50 core refreshes 4 times a day. So every day you want to spend 200 cores in this campaign. So yes, it does require most players to make sure that you save up a few power cores before this event starts. Now those of you guys that have been following me have seen me get these characters at 5 gold stars. Now this is not a guaranteed method, but if you would like to try it for yourself, what I would do is I would spend 400 cores a day, which also means doing a 100 core refresh. I personally will not be doing this for Shatterstar this time around. Normally I push myself to get these characters at 5 stars. I'm not that hyped for Shatterstar. Plus I ran into a little bit of a core situation last month with all the deals and offers they were throwing out with cores and energy, and yeah, I just completely ran myself almost dry, and I like to build up my supply again, so I'd rather skip a character, but I'm still going to use the method to get them to 4 stars. So everything after day 1, as you play this game, you clear off all the nodes with all the free energy you get. You never let your energy sit full. You claim your energy 3 times a day. You will be left with these 4 nodes at the end, which you will need to use your core refreshes to complete. So these nodes, starting with this last one, which is the 4th node, gives you 600 orb fragments, and then these all give you 500 orb fragments. You're getting a little over 1 orb. This orb is actually a better conversion rate for character shards than what actual refreshing your regular energy in farming a campaign node. And this is why I highly recommend this method for newer and mid-game players, because you will get more character shards using your cores on an event campaign than you will using for regular energy and trying to farm a specific toon. So let's start with character recommendations. So in the past, guys, before ISO, I would recommend characters that have healing properties, either heal a team or heal themselves. So in the past, I'd probably recommend a team like this: Minerva, Shuri, Symbiote Spider-Man, Emma, and Hela. Now, I know not every person might have access to these characters, which is fine. We have a thing called ISO now. So the best way, if you don't have characters with healing properties or can self-heal, or a way to keep your characters alive, there is the healer class in ISO. And I have found out that level 3 healer on early game content, like stuff that doesn't require you to be level 70 and above, at level 3 healer is a little OP if you have that on everybody. So other great characters you can use: Ghost Rider, Proxima Midnight, Falcon, Thanos, Captain Marvel. And guys, just because your character that you like is not on this list does not mean you can't use them. Black Widow can be used for an early game player. There's so many others. Corvus Clay, if you got them unlocked in the arena store early, can be used. If you got Proxima Midnight because you got her unlocked early, they pair well together. Because of ISO, you are not limited with the number of toons that you can use. I would be cautioned to not use characters that are labeled by the community as trash, which I don't know if there's any of those in this or not. But yeah, plenty of characters, and we're gonna go through with other characters that are important, like for legendary stuff like that, that are worth your time building for this event, because you're gonna build them in a ways for a legendary. Now, before I keep going on, this event does have a bug already. I didn't report it because I thought, what the heck am I? I'd rather just tell you guys about the bug. So the bug in this one is that first is Cyclops. He has the event tag, but he's not in the orb, which is weird for a character that's already farmable in the game. But Storm doesn't have the event tag, but is in the orb. So I think somewhere they mixed these two. I'm not sure which one was meant to be in the event and in the orb, but somehow they crossed paths. So this is the weird scenario here with these two. I just find it's a bug, and we've had this before. It's possible Storm could just be a hidden character and still used for the event. We have experienced this in the past, but I can't really give you guys any advice on Storm because she doesn't have the event campaign tag, as we know right now, or the showstopper tag, I should say. All right, moving on. So characters that are not in the orb. First, let's start with Longshot. Yes, Longshot is not in the orb, but does have the tag. So what does this mean? Because he's not in the game yet. This typically means that this character will be released while this event is going on. We've seen this over and over and over again. And I think we already got notification that he is the next Blitz up. So yeah, he'll have an offer in the store while this event's going on at a minimum. Next up, not new orb, is Emma Frost and Symbiote Spider-Man. Of course, they're milestone characters. They wouldn't be in the orb. And the legendaries Iron Man, Invisible Woman, and Shuri are not in the orb, which come to expect. So no surprises here. Now, the main reason why I do recommend this method so much is because of the character shards you can get here. You can get many more of them doing this method than farming regular campaign energy. And the only way this method is not the best for you is you already have a lot of these characters at max star rank, which a lot of early mid-game players do not. So what characters can you get in this orb besides Shatterstar that can help you towards a legendary unlock? And that is Mysterio for Shuri and Doc Ock, Shuri and Invisible Woman. Then you have Groot for Star-Lord. Then you have Black Widow and Quake, which I probably should have separated those two now that I look at it. Both can be used for Iron Man. Quake can also be used for Ebony Maw. Pyro and Juggernaut can be used for Magneto. Domino, Deadpool, and Negasonic all be used for Doc Ock. And Hela and Loki both can be used for Phoenix and Black Bolt. Have I convinced you yet as an early mid-game player this is the best use of your cores? If not, let's keep going. Late game characters that you can get in this orb: Ironheart, Hela, Thanos, Proxima Midnight, Negasonic. All these characters are locked behind level 70, and a lot of character building needed, especially the Doom War nodes, these two. A lot of character building is needed to clear up to there. Not enough for you? Let's keep going. Characters that save you on War credits, only pyro this time around. It's kind of, usually there's always 2 or more characters that they have the war credits. It's only pyro this time around, and a lot of people are not going to spend for pyro. You can get Magneto other ways other than pyro these days, so be able to get some shards of pyro in this orb is not a bad thing. And then the Mac Daddy they're going to save you on in this one is Arena. Deadpool, Juggernaut, Scarlet Witch, Quake, Human Torch, and Corvus Clave all in this orb. Saves you on arena credits. And I have one last pitch in case you're not convinced yet, and that is exclusive characters that are in this orb. Let's start with Domino, that's behind the Blitz orb. Not good enough? Let's start with Beast, who is currently unfarmable in the game. I think it's a good sign that he's coming farmable soon, but he's currently still unfarmable. And the last one, and I like to thank Scopely and the devs for finally listening to me after months, almost a year of me complaining about one thing. They finally did it. Minerva is in this orb, and if you guys have been watching me for a long time, you guys know I've given them a lot of crap about putting exclusive characters like Yo-Yo and Minerva that are featured for the event not in this orb. And the main reason is because how many character shards of Minerva do they expect the average player to get? My guess is probably 5, 10 at most. Like, I don't expect anyone to really get a massive drop of Minerva. There'll probably be a handful that will get 20, 25 maybe. But most players are only going to get 5 or 10, and maybe even none depending on the RNG and how many orbs they get. So thank you, Scopely, for listening. Whether you listen to me or not, or just happen to be a coincidence, I like to think you listen to me. I like to think I have some pull. My viewers think I have some pull, so I like to think I have some pull. Anyways, great addition, awesome decision. Yeah, can't say enough. But guys, that is pretty much it. Why this is so valuable to early and mid game players. And that is it. That is my whole entire speech, my whole entire spiel. If you guys have any questions about this event and have needing clarification, please join my Discord, as myself and some of my other followers can help answer some of your questions. If you leave it in the YouTube comments, sometimes I don't fully understand what you're asking, which has happened in the past. I mean, don't hesitate to ask there. Just don't have high expectations, put it that way. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and haven't done so already, yep, I did that. If you're new here and have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you do not want to miss how to get this character at 4 stars for free, insert name, or see me open the orbs for this character, don't forget the notification bell. And with all that said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Are you free to play Carrot? Because if you do, I know a guy. He gives advice, tips, tricks, and other things. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.